Welcome. My name is Jill Tejan. I'm Vice President of the Board of Directors of the National Women's Hall of Fame. And induction, every time it's held, is such a wonderful and inspiring and motivational event. So I'm delighted to be here in Seneca Falls, New York, the birthplace of women's rights and the home of the National Women's Hall of Fame.
We're having a great time at the Women's Hall of Fame with Bonnie Sandler sitting at a table and Nancy Pelosi nearby, both of them from Maryland. Yay! Wow! We're having a great time, and we're here to support Bonnie Sandler, and it's going to be delightful.
It's really wonderful to be here in Seneca Falls, carries such great history for all of us as women, but especially to be here with our leader, our former Speaker, Nancy Pelosi, being inducted into the Women's Hall of Fame. I mean, it really gives me goosebumps to think about the fact that I also stand on her shoulders.
It's so inspiring to be among all these incredible inductees. Where do you want to go from this experience that you're having here at Seneca Falls? How is this going to inspire you?
Well, one of the things I'm really excited about is that Leader Pelosi has actually put us on a path as Democratic women in the Congress to really focus on a women's economic agenda, building the economic health and strength of women, whether it is making sure that we have affordable and accessible child care, which means so much to us, making sure that we can start businesses. Women are the fastest growing entrepreneurs in this country, and so we can build on that kind of economic success. Leader Pelosi is leading the way, and that to me is about an economic agenda, because when women succeed, America succeeds.
Absolutely.
You know, what I really want to say is I think about Leader Pelosi. I came into Congress in 2008. I'm the only woman member of the House. Senator Mikulski is our woman in the Senate. But to be able to serve under then Speaker and now Leader is so tremendous for me as a woman and somebody who's new to politics. I learned so much. I watch her. She influences me. She inspires me. And I think to serve with a woman Speaker of the House, wow, something to tell the grandkids.
Pretty tremendous opportunity. Thank you so much, and I'm just thrilled to have you visit with us up here.
Thank you.
Our fifth inductee is Betty Ford. Betty Ford will be introduced by her friend and former First Lady Rosalind Carter. Mrs. Carter was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2001, and she joins us via video.
I wish I had been with you in person today for the induction of my friend Betty Ford into the National Women's Hall of Fame. And I'm pleased to send my warm regards to Susan and the entire Hall of Fame, and to join you all in celebrating Betty's great achievements and legacy. As we approach the 100th anniversary of women's suffrage, I am reminded of the Hall's important role in recognizing the pioneering contributions of women and of its value as a national and international institution. I applaud Betty's inclusion in this year's conference. I'm nominating Betty to pay tribute to this remarkable woman, considered by many to have been the most politically active and candid First Lady since Eleanor Roosevelt. She used the influence of her position to change the nation's attitudes about breast cancer, about equal rights, and about treatment for addiction. Her public disclosure of her own personal battle with breast cancer and her struggles with alcohol and painkillers lifted the veil of secrecy from these previously unmentionable issues. Her passionate support of equal rights movement has been credited with rejuvenating the movement. At the same time, she commended women who chose not to work outside the home. When she, Lady Johnson, and I stood together at the 1977 National Women's Conference in Houston, it was a very special moment for me as we worked together to improve the status of American women. Betty children, using her influence to champion federally funded daycare. And the President Ford authorized thousands of orphan children to be evacuated from Vietnam to the United States in the final days of that war. They welcomed them to their new lives. Climbing up all passages, seated in her by the love of dance, and continuing performing with the North American Dance Company, she provided dance classes in the African-American community and to children who were hearing and sight impaired. As First Lady, she supported access to performing in fine arts for children with disabilities and to underserved communities. And of course, all past roles, we found that our interest in addictive diseases and mental health came together in many ways, and that we could be a stronger force if we work as partners, which we did for communities. And all of us face public and real-life situations that were traditionally stigmatized, broke new ground and made way for an even openness. She was willing to do things a bit differently than they had been done before. And she had the grace and courage to fight fear, stigma, and prejudice wherever she encountered them. She was an independent thinker who resisted political and social restraints to become an advocate for justice and civil and political rights. She gave them voice within their families, in the workplace, and in the political system. We owe so much to Betty Ford, and it is fitting that she will be forever honored in the National Women's Hall of Fame. Thank you.
Using the influence of her position to change the nation's attitudes about breast cancer, equal rights, and treatment for addiction, using her own story to lift the veil of secrecy from these previously unmentionable issues, and give voice to other women within their families, the workplace, and in the political system, Betty Ford is now inducted into the National Women's Hall of Fame. Susan Ford Bass. Fellow inductees, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, first let me extend special thanks to my mother's dear friend, First Lady Rosalynn Carter, for her nomination of my mom. Rosalynn was and is an extraordinary First Lady and a dear friend to both my mother and me. And her kind nomination makes today extra special. In the summer of 1974, I was an ordinary high school teenager, getting ready to start fall classes. And then, no notice or planning, on August 8th, my mom and I were told that my dad was getting a new job the next day. And our family was suddenly getting a new address, 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. But just 8 weeks later, all of those wonderful feelings vanished. My mother took me aside, upstairs at the White House, and quietly said 4 words to me. And I remember that as clearly today as when she told them to me. And my mother whispered to me, "I have breast cancer." In those days, the likely outcome was almost certain. And I just knew that my mom was going to die. I recall exactly her conversation with Dad and with me about whether we should share her diagnosis and treatment with the public. Should she announce that she had cancer?
And should anyone, much less the First Lady, for goodness sakes, dare say the word breast in public? How much must Mom and we share with the public? How much should she and we talk publicly about something so personal to any woman, cancer of the breast? Certainly we could have done what so many before her had, and simply say that Mom was having female problems and would soon undergo exploratory surgery to take care of them. But my mother bluntly said, quote, "The time for women hiding this disease in shame behind closed doors has to stop. And who better to make that happen than the First Lady of the United States," end quote. So my mom told the public exactly, and I mean exactly, what was happening to her. She decided to take a very courageous, yet very controversial step to tell the world the truth about her disease. And so she did, and my mother announced to the world the same 4 words that she whispered in secret to me: "I have breast cancer." And in an instant, Betty Ford changed the history of women's health forever. And as one women's health in American history is divided into 2 very unequal parts, before Betty and after Betty. And of course, when she left the White House, my mother didn't leave her candidate. In 1978, my mother showed her strength and courage once again. She confronted straight on her alcoholism and her addiction. She showed all of us what might mistake for personal weakness is but the gateway to spiritual witness, and most importantly, no life is beyond redemption. So in this, as she is inducted into the Women's Hall of Fame, this would have meant so much to my mom, particularly for being recognized with this extraordinary group of other inductees. And she also will be quick to remind us much work remains to be done to make God's world a more just and peaceful place for all of God's children, women and men alike. So let us go forth with the same spirit of courage, integrity, and selfless focus. All of our inductees Betty Ford would have respected. Nothing, absolutely nothing, less from us. So on behalf of Mother, thank you from the bottom of my heart for this extraordinary honor. Thank you.
Congratulations, sister. Are you also, we are so proud of all that you've done. What does this mean to you in your work?
Well, to us in our congregation, it's a great honor, and we think it's timely because we just celebrated our 100th anniversary last year, and so we're celebrating our founder, Mother Mary Joseph Rodgers, who had the vision to start the first congregation of American Catholic women missionaries in the United States.
Absolutely wonderful. Where are you planning to go from here?
Well, my mission personally has been in Southern Africa, in Zimbabwe. Right now I'm in leadership. Our center is in New York, but our sisters work in 24 countries all over the world, so I visit them. I just returned from visiting our sisters in Hawaii. I will be visiting our sisters in Cambodia next year, our sisters in Guatemala. So we work wherever the need is throughout the world.
Thank you so much for all of your contributions and your efforts to
Thank you, and we're truly so privileged and happy to be here. And we know Mother Mary Joseph Rodgers is smiling on us and enjoying this day as well. And many members of her family are coming today, and of our community as well. Wonderful. We're happy about that. Thank you, thank you.
Our seventh inductee is Mother Mary Joseph Rodgers. The fourth of 8 children, Mary Josephine Molly Rodgers was born in Roxbury, Massachusetts, to Irish Catholic parents. She attended public schools in Boston and later studied at Smith College, graduating in 1905. While studying at Smith, Rodgers became inspired by graduating Protestant students, leaving for missionary work in China. Several years after her own graduation from Smith, Rodgers returned and started a mission club for Catholic students. While organizing the club, she met Father James A. Walsh, who was launching a mission magazine, in which Rodgers took immediate interest and volunteered her time to assist with production. Nearly a decade later, Father Walsh co-founded Mary Knoll, Fathers and Brothers, and Rodgers was selected as one of the secretaries to direct the group under his guidance. Rodgers took the religious name, Mother Mary Joseph, and oversaw the growth of the congregation and its expansion into mission. In 1920, the group became recognized as the Mary Knoll Sisters, a missionary society of women that ministers to the humanitarian needs of all people, especially the poor, regardless of race, creed, or color. By the time of her death in 1955, there were 1,065 sisters working in 20 countries and several cities in the U.S. The Mary Knoll Sisters became a typical institute in 1954, and the name of the congregation was changed to Mary Knoll Sisters of St. Dominic. For her extraordinary vision founding the Mary Knoll Sisters, the first United States-based Catholic congregation of religious women dedicated to a global mission, Mother Mary Joseph Rodgers is inducted into the National Women's Hall of Fame, accepting on her behalf of Mother Mary Joseph Rodgers and the Mary Knoll Sisters is Sister Janet McLaughlin, President of the Mary Knoll Sisters. Please join me in welcoming.
For me to represent the Mary Knoll Sisters today and be standing with all of these inspiring women. If Mother Mary Joseph herself were standing here today, I believe that she would say, we celebrate not only an individual or even the community she founded, the Mary Knoll Sisters, but she would say, we honor women everywhere who strive to make the world a better place for all. Truly, this was her inclusive worldwide vision. And I rejoice that many members of her family, the Rodgers family, are here today. I would ask them to stand so we can recognize them. We have many members of the extended Mary Knoll family. Can I ask you to stand as well? Thank you all for your support. Last year, Mary Knoll Sisters celebrated our 100th anniversary. 100 years of living out Mother Mary Joseph's vision of compassionate service throughout the world. Beginning our second century of mission this year, we continue to reach out to those in need with her unprejudiced worldwide heart. Mary Josephine Rodgers, known affectionately as Molly, came as we heard from a large and loving Irish Catholic family in Boston. She brought a family spirit of sharing, fun, and laughter to Mary Knoll. She developed an international outlook and an appreciation of diversity early in her life. study of books and dolls from around the world, exposed her to a reality far removed from Boston. Looking back on her life, she said, "At an early age, I was keenly alive to the existence of little sisters and brothers in far-off lands, quite different from myself in race, color, and creed. This open and worldwide heart was visible in her valedictory address at her graduation from West Roxbury High School in 1900. She chose the subject of tolerance and began by quoting St. Augustine. In what is essential, unity. In what is indifferent, liberty. And in all things, charity. Unity, liberty, charity. These would be among the guiding principles of the missionary congregation that she founded in 1912. She was only 29 years of age when she took this major step. 9 years later, she sent the first 6 Myanmar sisters to China. They pioneered a new approach to mission, going out 2 by 2 to live in the homes of poor villagers for weeks at a time, sharing the same hardships and way of life as the local people. Ahead of her time, even in her approach to prayer, she turned to the living mystics for inspiration. Teresa of Avila, famous mystic and doctor of the church, became our patron. Mother Mary Joseph urged us to be contemplatives in action, meaning to combine work and prayer. And she urged us to learn to live in the presence of God. Mother Mary Joseph also taught us to respect other cultures and to be open to dialogue with people of diverse beliefs. Educating our new members, she told them, Mary does not go to turn Asians or Africans into Americans or Westerners. As far as customs go, we are the ones who do the changing over. She had a grasp of world affairs and was open to taking risks when the need for our service was great. She therefore did not hesitate to send her sisters into dangerous situations where they might face imprisonment, deportation, and even death. This was indeed the case in China, North Korea, Japan, and the Philippines. In recent years, we again shared the same fate of Singapore when 2 of our sisters were murdered in El Salvador with 2 other church women. You may remember their names, Sisters Edith Ford and Mara Clark, together with Sisters Dorothy Cagle and Lay Missionary Jean Dunham. Although such sorrow and loss were part of Mother Mary Joseph's life, she had a joyful spirit and taught us to enjoy simple pleasures, the beauty of nature, the beauty of each person. She listed the saving grace of a sense of humor among the qualities that should distinguish a Mary sister. Her own humor and sense of fun were contagious. And if I had the time, I could tell you many wonderful stories, but I'll only mention one. She said, when I was a little girl, I used to dream of a time I would be rich enough to have a soda fountain in my own house. Instead, she introduced the custom of having ice cream sodas in every Maryland house around the world. Soon, on October 15th, the feast of our patron, St. Teresa of Avila. So I invite all of you to enjoy ice cream sodas this Tuesday, the feast of St. Teresa. has changed drastically in the past century. Mother Mary Joseph's example continues to inspire us as we translate her words and deeds into contemporary action. Today, we serve in 2 dozen countries, caring for orphans who have lost their parents to AIDS, engaging in interreligious dialogue, reaching out to victims of human trafficking, accompanying migrants, advocating for the protection of the environment, offering peace education in situations of conflict, and trauma healing to victims of violence. We believe that Mother Mary Joseph's legacy lives on, not only in women who join Maryland, but in the thousands of people our lives have touched over the years. A graduate from one of our schools in the Philippines summed it up recently when she wrote, "Maryland sisters live on, if not in the National Hall of Fame like their founder, then in the hearts, minds, and lives of those they taught and loved." We give thanks for that legacy and for the honor of having Mother Mary Joseph Rodgers join other prominent women in this National Women's Hall of Fame. Thank you.